Well, it's another Let's Play. Well, kind of. It's not really much of a Let's Play, as more of it's a preview, I guess you could say. Now, I'm having a hard time, I noticed that in the last video, I'm having a hard time finding a place to actually put the microphone. Because I don't have an arm for it, or a crane, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm having to hold it in front of me. But anyway, EarthBound. Being real, I know a lot of people who grew up with the game. I didn't. And to prove that I didn't, yeah, the video is 50 minutes long. I don't really know how to go about changing that, because I could take out all the grinding I did, but I don't know. I just feel like just leaving it in. I did edit it though, so it is something that's had stuff done to it. But here's the thing, EarthBound. I didn't grow up with it. I didn't know anything about it until about 5 or 6 years ago. Like, and here's the funny thing. I don't want to say like, oh well, I just never knew what it was. I didn't never know what it was. Like, I never heard anybody ever talk about it when I was a kid, but I remember the box art. When I watch a couple of YouTube channels. One is Chugga Conroy, who plays a lot of stuff, mainly Nintendo. And his first Let's Play was before capture cards were really good, or even existed for that matter. At least I feel that way. But his first Let's Play was EarthBound. And yeah, luckily last year before last, I don't remember when now, but he revisited it, and it's better. It looks better. It's a better quality version of it, and I applaud him for that. But guys like him and guys like Steven George, who has his channel, Steven Plays, that's a game that they have in common. They're really good friends, and it's a game that brought them together, and it's a game that actually introduced Steven to his wife, Mallory, who has her own channel, which is called Mal Makes, where she paints. And she does a really good job. But I never had anything like that. As a matter of fact, the closest thing I had to something like that, where, you know, friends would be like, oh yeah, that, you know, or, you know, you know what I'm talking about, is closest thing to that is like Pokemon. It's the closest thing for me, because growing up, I didn't have any like JRPGs or anything like that, or, you know, however you want to define it, really. You know, I didn't have anything like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, an EarthBound. You know, I didn't have anything like that. So when I started playing Pokemon, that was my first taste into it, and then I just kept going and going and going and going. And then when I first downloaded EarthBound about 2 years ago now, I think it was 2018 when I downloaded it. It may have been last year actually. But I started playing it, and I liked it. I liked it right off the bat. I was like, I like this. I don't know if little kid me would like this. And the reason being is because it's a completely different thing than what I was used to back then. Because, like, yeah, I was playing platformers like, you know, Mario World and Donkey Kong Country and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it was. I think I probably would have gotten used to it, because it's the same thing with Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger, I didn't play until like 2015. That was my first introduction to Chrono Trigger, and I fell in love with it right off the bat. I was like, why did I not have this as a kid? I don't get it. But like, the games I had growing up were great. Like, I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, and that's a fantastic game for when you really don't want to play Street Fighter and you want to play something that's a little more familiar to you. Because like, when I was a kid, it was Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, stuff like that. Nowadays it's relatively the same. But let's go into this. What is EarthBound? I'm not really the person to be describing it, because the only thing I know are from the aforementioned people that I've been talking about, watching their stuff and getting information from them. If you want a full Let's Play of this, I'll be happy to do a full Let's Play of this for Project YARE. I don't care. The problem is, I'm going to be blind the whole time, and if you're wanting something that's a little more detailed, I'm not your guy for this. I totally recommend Steven or Emil, Chugger Conroy. I'd recommend their stuff because they are detailed. Now, Emil is more detailed than Steven. Like, far more detailed than Steven. No offense, you know. But Emil is the kind of person that when he does a Let's Play, he does research. He actually goes through, he gets people, you know, who know a little more than he does to help him get that little nugget of knowledge that he didn't have. And with EarthBound, I mean, it was almost like he already knew. You know what I mean? He already knew kind of what he's doing. And yeah, I mean, when you grow up playing a game, you're going to, as soon as you start playing, you're going to be like, boom, remembering. Just out of nowhere. It's like it's been in a cloud this whole time. Except for people like me, it's not in a cloud. It's just storage that you haven't seen in a long time. It's like opening up an old chest of stuff and then being like, oh, dude, I remember this. Oh, man. I haven't seen this in like 30 years, even though I'll be 30 this year, and that would make no sense. But anyway, sorry if I'm pausing a little bit. I'm having some issues staying hydrated right now. But anyway, like, yeah, if you want something more detailed, go with them, totally. But I will totally do this as a blind Let's Play, but I'm not gonna do it unless people put in the comments, yeah, go for it, dude, you know, whatever. Because I know Brad will be like, do it. You won't do it. You don't know what I won't do. I'll show you. You do a Let's Play. But Brad's trying to figure out what he's going to play next. He uploaded on the day that I'm working on this, which is, what is today, the 30th? Yeah, the 30th. Brad uploaded another sort of Let's Play, and I don't remember what that one is. I think it's a Naruto game. I think it was, and it's fine. You know, Brad's not really a Naruto person, so the fact that he was playing a game just kind of throws me away there. But anyway, back to EarthBound. I'm getting off topic. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But EarthBound is about a child named Ness. Spelled N-E-S-S. And before you're thinking, is this a Nintendo reference? Like NES? No. And yeah. At least I've always felt that way. I know some people, the true hardcore fans, would be like, oh, you have no idea. You're right, I have no idea. I've already admitted to that, so you can get over that. But it's basically about him and him gathering a group of friends. It's your typical RPG, pretty much. You go, you find people that join your cause, and then you end up fighting the big bad guy at the end. However, here's the difference between it and most RPGs. Most RPGs, some enemies will drop stuff, yeah. But I believe EarthBound is the first of its kind. I could be wrong. I'm going to say that right now. I could be wrong. Because I feel like maybe Dragon Quest did it first. I don't know. But it's one of the first ones that I know of where you can get like super rare items almost early game. It's really odd. I can't tell you what the items are because I don't know. So there's that. But I remember one episode of Emil's videos. He was like, yeah, I'm going to try for like a lucky sandwich. I think he said was what he said it was called. And he was like kidding around, and all of a sudden it just dropped it. And he was like, I was kidding. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fun when luck happens like that. But yeah, like, Enemies will drop items. There's one item in particular I don't think you can get. I'm actually 90% sure you can't get normal in early game, and it is called. What's it called? The Sword of Kings, I think. I don't really remember what it's called. I believe it's that, but it's, I think, the best weapon in the game is what it's considered to be. But the playthroughs that I've seen have been fantastic. I've seen people play it blind. There's even one of sorry. I got choked. One of Steven's friends, his name is Chaz. You can find him on Twitter. Trying to remember what his Twitter handle is. Stochastic? Or maybe it's still Pick 15. I don't remember. But Chaz is, I believe he's a programmer, if I remember correctly. Like he's created a lot of stuff that I'm just like, what? How does that? He made an EarthBound randomizer, and people who are massive EarthBound fans are playing it everywhere. I asked him one time about doing a Pokemon XD randomizer, and he wasn't sure if it was something that was out there, and then a bunch of people were like, no, it's real. And he's like, oh, that's cool. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, he made a randomizer, and I've seen a few. I've never seen one where they get the Sword of Kings like super early, but I've seen it, and it's pretty fun. Sorry, I'm trying to remember something that happened in my first playthrough, and it was something that I thought I had messed up. I really legit thought, because EarthBound, a lot of people think that EarthBound is like the most perfect game, and to them, yeah, it is, but it's been pointed out that there are some just random glitches out of nowhere that happen. And for an old Super Nintendo game, it's not uncommon, but it's not common either. It's like that weird middle ground that you just never really see that often. Because I've seen glitches, like typing in YouTube, like weird EarthBound glitches. There's one EarthBound glitch that can actually like make it to where the game just doesn't work anymore, and I'm like, that's a scary thing. What if you accidentally do it, but it turned out to be, it's a real glitch, it's just super convoluted to get to it. But I got thinking one day, I was like, what if I did that? You know, what if I accidentally, like, not even thinking about it, just did it? And I was like, my luck would be, it would actually, instead of just messing my game up to where it just didn't work anymore, instead it would just like fry my Wii U. My Wii U just couldn't handle it. But I keep getting off topic. I don't mean to get off topic. I know I've had people call me out before on that. That's how I was raised. Like, you start talking about one thing, and then one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and then next thing you know, you don't even remember what you were talking about. But luckily, I have what I'm talking about right in front of me, so I just have a reminder constantly right now. But, like, I'm going to say right now, EarthBound's not for everyone. Like, even me playing it, I'm like, this isn't a game for everyone. Because there's a lot of people I've seen online where they're like, the art style it's ugly. And I'm like, yeah, it's ugly. I ain't gonna lie. It's a really ugly game. But if you're able to put that aside, you're going to have a blast with it. Like, legit. It's pretty fun. I've seen people speedrun this, which I'm like, how? And yeah, like, it's weird seeing people speedrun an RPG, because Pokemon makes sense because most people know about glitches and stuff like that. But like, if you're doing it non-glitch, I don't know how you're doing things, because that's just bizarre to me. I saw somebody speedrun Xenoblade Chronicles, and I don't remember their time. What was their time? It was short. I remember that much. It was really short. Like, they went from being basically at the beginning of the game. Oh, I remember how they did it. They did this. There's a spot in one of the caves in the beginning of the game, if you can somehow manage to get launched, basically, you can get up in this thing and you'll discover a new portion of it, and it gives you way more experience than you're supposed to get. It's pretty hilarious, but it's also kind of how you, I don't want to say how you get to the end of the game, but it gets you closer to that. But I've also seen people do that in the game, be like, no, you're not ready for this, so go back. And I'm like, that's weird. How come this one did it and the other one didn't? But with EarthBound, the glitches really, I don't remember ever reading up or seeing anybody utilize one to get to the very end of the game. I've seen one where people have used it to go from like the beginning of the game to like one of the later levels and stuff. And I don't mean like close to the end of the game, later levels. I mean like I'd say at least 2 towns after the first town. I don't mean where your home is. It's like the next one. Onett? Is that what it's called? Onett? I don't know the names of things. I hear people pronounce things differently, so it's whatever. Oh, this is going to be a long one. See, I need to come clean on this. The video is over 50 minutes long because I decided that it would be fun to include the, you know, the titles and stuff. And, I mean, that was the whole reason I did it with Donkey Kong 64, but Donkey Kong 64 is known for having the cringiest opening because nobody cares about a monkey rap, and the fact that they did that and thought it would be cool, I'm convinced they knew it wasn't cool. I'm convinced they knew it wasn't cool, and they were just like, yeah, let's see if we can get some people to be like, I hope the game's good. Because, like, with Donkey Kong 64, the game is really fun, especially once you get into it. Again, I mentioned in the other video, you know, fix the camera, please, if it ever gets a remaster. With EarthBound, there's debate whether it would benefit from a remaster. Like, I don't know. I think it would do fine, but if you're going to remaster it, I don't know how you would do it and keep the charm. But the only way I can think of is if you took Ness from Smash and basically built a world around like that. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me. But, again, I don't know how you do it. There's people still wanting Mother 3, which is the sequel to EarthBound, which, if you didn't know, EarthBound isn't really called EarthBound. It's called EarthBound here, obviously. But the real name of the franchise is Mother. Like, you have Mother 1, EarthBound is Mother 2, and then Mother 3, which, if you've seen the character Lucas in Smash Brothers, is the main protagonist of that game. I don't remember... I don't remember how this works. Like, I don't remember timeline, obviously, because I don't really play the game that much. But I think that Ness... I think Ness is Lucas's brother? And then there's another brother named Klaus who's not in that, but still. But, like, yeah, as far as lore goes, I know that Gygus, the main villain, is from space. That's kind of all I know. There's also I think it is the original, the first Mother, but the main character of that is called Ninten? And I know the first time I heard that, I was like, that's a terrible name. And obviously it's Nintendo. It's so dumb. And I don't mean to, like, you know, belittle the franchise and stuff like that, but it's one of those things where the game is good, but it's just, there's so much weirdness in it. If you can get past the terrible art style and the weirdness, you're gonna have fun with it, but at the same time, you're also gonna be in it for a long, long walk. And the reason I say is because I'm pretty sure I remember I remember somebody mentioning a difficulty spike. I don't remember when or where in the game, but I remember there being talks of a difficulty spike, and it was one of those things where you had to grind. And in the video, you'll see me grinding and stuff, but I'm not grinding to get to like level 50. I was actually trying to grind to level 10 because I always try to do that before I get too far in the game. It's fun to be overpowered in the beginning. But yeah, like I don't really, it's one of those things where I'm making this video. I promised that I would do EarthBound. Oh, I didn't really promise anything. I was just like, I think I'm gonna do EarthBound next. That's not a promise. That's me being like, yeah, I think I might do this. Like, I also thought about doing Super Mario RPG because I have that too. Like, the games that I'm playing right now are all on my Wii U, like all of them. I have Mario Maker. That's not eligible for what we're doing right now during this quarantine. Mainly because the Wii U version is, if I remember right, the Wii U version isn't really working anymore. And not only that, most people are on Mario Maker 2, so it doesn't make any sense that I would stay on the first one. But I have Super Mario World, the Game Boy Advance version on there, and the same thing with Yoshi's Island, the Game Boy Advance version. Super Mario RPG, which I already mentioned. Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 and 64. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. And then EarthBound. And then Star Fox 64. I don't have a ton of games on my Wii U. And what's funny is I was actually gonna try to get Arkham City on the Wii U again, but do digital, because apparently it runs smoother as a digital copy. It's odd, but I mean, that's kind of how it is on like Xbox and everything. But for some reason, Arkham City is still $60 for the eShop on the Wii U. I have no idea why. Arkham Origins is $20. I like that. That blows me away. Arkham Origins and its DLC are like, I think total is probably around $40, close to it maybe. But Arkham City is $60. And if I remember correctly, the Wii U version, I don't think it's the Game of the Year version. It could be. But like $60? No. Nintendo, what are you doing? Tell somebody that they need to lower the price. I get that it's a kind of an exclusive to the Wii U, but still, that's just crazy. What's funny is, like, when I was looking at Super Nintendo games when I bought Donkey Kong Country 3, EarthBound was $10. EarthBound is like probably the most expensive Super Nintendo game on the Wii U eShop. And see, I think Nintendo really blew it. Like, I like the idea that they're kind of doing with the NES and Super NES library type deal for the Switch, but it honestly just makes more sense to me to, like, if you want a game, go buy it. Like, it just makes more sense that way. Yeah, like, it's funny because, like, I still have a ton of time left, but I don't really have anything to talk about. I could have done commentary this whole time, like, you know, like, recording along with it and everything, but I don't know. The last few times I've done it, it's weird. Like, like, the reason I didn't do it with Donkey Kong 64 was because I knew I wasn't going to be playing it for very long. With EarthBound, I didn't realize how long I had been playing for. And not only that, I don't really... If you noticed in the beginning of this whole thing, I actually don't really have much to say about EarthBound. Other than, you know, it's good. Play it. I don't recommend buying the carts, though. Like, those are really expensive. Like, really expensive. I don't know what I'm going to play next. I know I said earlier, like, you know, if you want me to keep playing, play it. And I will. If it, you know, if this video gets 100 likes, I will do a full EarthBound Let's Play with actual commentary. Like, this is literally just, hey, this is what we're doing while we're all locked away, you know, like prisoners in our homes. That kind of thing. But yeah, I wouldn't be against doing it. Like, I'm gonna be honest though, if I do it, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna do 3 episodes, and they're gonna get posted ahead of time, so I can keep working on it. But I thought about streaming it, but I don't have any equipment to stream anymore. Like, I don't have enough screens to be able to monitor chat and stuff like that. So I think what I'm gonna do, hold on, I'm getting a drink. Ooh. But I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, something in my throat. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh. But I think what I'm going to do is what I was talking about. I'm going to do 3 videos. They're not going out at once, but they are going to go out like probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, maybe. I may only do it once a week, just to give me more time. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, editing a Let's Play isn't really that hard. Especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, which is try to record for 20 minutes and mess up and do an hour. But try to do about 20-25 minutes minimum. Because, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm somebody who would watch an hour-long Let's Play, but it's got to be something I'm interested in. Like, I've watched Let's Plays of like Skyrim and Fallout 4 and a few other where they're like 30 to 45 minutes. But I think that would work. The reason I don't want to do once. Like, I would do once a week, but the reason I don't really want to is because I feel like that's too much time. Like, I could literally finish a whole game in a week. Like, here's an example of how quickly I could finish a game. I finished, when Breath of the Wild came out, I finished it, and I was actually playing the Wii U version. I still have that too, which is considered actually nowadays to be a collector's thing, which is odd, but makes sense. But I finished Breath of the Wild when it came out in a week. I had pretty much everything. And the reason I say pretty much is because I didn't have all the Korok seeds, but I did all the tower, you know, all the Sheikah Slate towers. Yeah, they're towers. I don't know why I thought something else. I saved all the Guardians. I found all the not temples, the shrines. There we go. Did the Master Sword. I didn't do the Master Sword challenge. That's DLC, but the reason I didn't do it is because I just really didn't have any interest in it. Even though I had the DLC, I was just like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, people who know me know that I think Breath of the Wild is fine. Like, it's not, to me, not the best Zelda game ever made, even though everybody else was like, yeah! And yeah, I rooted for it to win Game of the Year, but I rooted for it to win Game of the Year because a Nintendo game I don't think has ever won Game of the Year. And if one has, I don't remember it. But, yeah, I know we're off topic. I'm not talking about EarthBound anymore, but I don't really have anything to say about it. Like, it's going to be really weird doing a Let's Play when I don't really have much to say about a game that I didn't grow up with that was around the time when I was growing up. Because that's like Super Mario RPG. I didn't grow up with it either. I wish I did. That would have been... I'm gonna be honest, when I first played Super Mario RPG, I didn't know what to think about it at first. I was happy, and then I died. And then, like, I put it down, and then I picked it up again, and I was like, oh. You know, I don't know why I quit. But I had considered hooking up my original Super Nintendo and playing some of the games on that. I could hook up my Wii because, like, you know, don't tell anybody, but my Wii, my original Wii, is, you know, it's been homebrewed, so shh, don't tell people. Here's the thing. Most of the games that I have on my Wii that from the homebrew, I own. I don't have a problem with that. I know some people are like, oh, well, you can't do ROMs and emulators if you don't own the game. I mean, I do own the games. Do I own every single one of them? No, but a lot of the ones that I don't own, I don't play because I'm not interested. Like, I'm never going to play Real Monsters on Super Nintendo. I'm just not. I'm not going to play, what was it called? Oh, I almost said Toe Jam and Earl. That's not it. Oh, the Booger Man. Yeah, I'm not interested in those games. I'm gonna be honest. At least just not for me. But it's one of those things where, like, I'll play just about everything else on that, and I think that's good enough for me. See, I bought a Wii that had that done to it, and then I learned that it didn't have ports for GameCube controllers, and I was like, that's not good at all. And the Wii that we've had for a while, which is the 25th or 20th anniversary of Mario, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. It's something like that though. I'm almost positive it was 25th. I think it came out in 2010. Which would have been like 25 years since Mario debuted. Odd to believe that it's now older than that. It's now 35. Really odd. But anyway, it has a place for GameCube controllers, memory cards. It's like the perfect Wii now because of me homebrewing it. And yeah, like, I even have a thing that, I don't want to say it upscales it, but it allows you to use HDMI to, you know, play it. That's good. I don't remember how well it works, though. I haven't played it in a while. But one of my reasons for doing that was because there are some games that I have that don't work anymore. And I don't know why they don't work. I just assume it's because they're old and because everybody always blew in the cartridges when you're not supposed to. And I was guilty of that too. But like my Kirby's Avalanche doesn't work. I could play that on there. What else do I have? It's been so long since I've looked at my games. I don't really remember what I have. I just know I have most of what's on there. Yeah, like I'm trying to find stuff to talk about, because like I know Brad will say, you know, you pause too much. I don't mean to pause. I just, when you're talking about something that you just don't really have any information about, and you're telling people to go watch other videos to go find information if they're interested, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, somebody out there who's like a lifelong, like, I'm pretty sure, like, lifelong veteran of EarthBound would probably be like, dude, you know, you're just terrible at this. It's like, I mean, you knew that. You knew that this whole time. Well, I'm just messing with you, man. Well, I'd hope so. Yeah, I got nothing really. Like, I'm pausing so much because I'm just trying to really keep up a conversation with the video. Ooh. I know something that I could play next. I just thought of it. I might, I'm not holding myself to this. I may do a playthrough of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I wish I could do a randomizer, but that's not gonna happen. For multiple reasons. One, I don't really have that, and I don't really know where to get that, and so there's that. But I have the actual game on GameCube, so I might do that. I think that'd be pretty fun. Either that or Soul Calibur 2. Ooh. I forgot I had that, actually. I could also do Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. It's funny, those games get a lot of hate, and I don't understand why. Like, people are like, oh, they're nothing like the original Baldur's Gates. No, you're right, because these are on console. Of course they're not the same. Back then, you couldn't put those games on a console. Now you can, because the Switch has the originals on it. And you can take them to go, which is fantastic. But I might do that. I might do, you know what? I'm going to leave it to a vote. If you want me to keep playing EarthBound, just type in the comments EarthBound. If you want me to play Pokemon XD, type Pokemon XD. Same thing with Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. What else? I would play the Zoids game I have, but I don't really want to. Brad will be like, no, do it. You do it. You have to. You've already mentioned it. No. You've already mentioned it. Do it. Fine. No, I'm not doing it. But I think another one I might do. See, what's funny is I have Knights of the Old Republic, but I don't want to play it. But it's also not on GameCube. Dark Alliance 2 is also not on GameCube, like, at all. It was never made for it. The first one was, which I don't have, weirdly enough. But I could also play Time Splitters Future Perfect. Now, here's the funny thing about Time Splitters Future Perfect. I wish I still had it on GameCube, because to me, that's the superior version. Because the GameCube controller just feels right, whereas the original Xbox controller, and I don't mean the big one, the second one, it doesn't feel right for shooters. And a lot of people disagree with me, that's fine. But it just doesn't feel right. And the most people who disagree with me are people who grew up playing Halo, which, surprise, I didn't grow up playing it. I played it in... Here's what I mean when I say I played it. I played it 3 times my entire life. I played it the first time at hilariously enough, a school competition. And I think I came in 3rd or 4th. I don't remember. I just remember that I was beating people and, like, not really trying. I was just like, these guys suck. Like, yeah, like, these guys are just terrible. And then I ended up playing against people who actually play the game and just got devastated. But yeah, like, Halo's not my thing. Like, the next time I played it was at a friend's house, and it was just because one of his discs that we were originally going to play stopped working, so he was like, you want to play Halo? I was like, sure. And then I played it in Nick's house with Brad and Daniel, who you'll see in some of our older videos. And yeah, it's just not my thing. Like, Nick makes fun of me because I like Gears of War, but I like Gears of War for multiple reasons other than it's a shooting game. I like the voice acting. I like the story of it, even though they're like, there's not a really story. There's not a story to Halo. Brad's gonna roast me for that. You said Fable instead of Halo. What an idiot. Everybody watching this video knows that's what Brad sounds like. And he'll admit to it too. But yeah, I might play those games. I can also play One Piece. I have a One Piece game for the GameCube. One Piece Grand Adventure. It's not even the Funimation cast. It's for kids. So a lot of people probably get triggered over that, but I don't care. I really don't. I could play Okami, but at the same time, I don't want to go in blind on that either. I have a few more things, but not really anything that I would want to play for this. I might do some Pokemon battles, like for from Sword. I think that'd be cool. I've got a bunch of teams I've made up. I'm gonna say something that makes me really mad about Pokemon. They give you, I think it's 6 slots for your teams for like the battle tower and for when you're playing online. It needs to be 30 like there's boxes. It just makes sense to do that. Because seriously, like I've got a ton of teams made up. I can't do anything with them because all the spaces are taken up, and that makes no sense. Like, it's just dumb. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's horrible writing all fake news, just stuff like that. I just want you all to know that I'm the best thing that's ever been. Always. But anyway. What was that? Huh, weird. What's funny is I haven't plugged in my original Xbox in forever. Oh, that's something else I can do. I'm such an idiot. I actually ordered it online a while back. One of my friends was gonna tell me, but we couldn't figure it out what kind it is. But I have a Modern Warfare 2, which I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care for the Call of Duty games. I just don't. But I bought it because I thought it looked cool. I think one of my friends had it before. And also it's a, what is it, the Elite, the Xbox 360 Elite, where it was like 500 gigs or something like that at the time. Which, for a 360, is like the biggest you can get, I believe. Yeah, I think 500 gigs is the biggest you can get for original 360. Because, like, you don't see stuff like that, really. But I got a ton of stuff that I can play off that, too. Like, where I digitally downloaded stuff from the store. I can do that. I don't know why I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm so limited in my games, when I'm really not. I could just move it over here to my computer desk and then just swap out the HDMI from different things. And then I'd be good to go. Because luckily, here's something that people don't know, and I only learned it whenever I ordered it. I never knew that this specific, well, I said this specific, but I never knew that there were some Xbox 360's original model. I'm not talking like the Slim and then anything after that leading up to the Xbox One. I'm talking like older models. The more rounder ones with the pop-up on top of the system. Well, on the side of the system. But I never knew that some of them actually had HDMI. That was really weird, because I think at the time that was a little more of an experiment for them, because HDMI didn't become a thing till like late 2008, early 2009. But at the same time, like, I never realized that people were experimenting with the technology for it. The Xbox that I have has that. And it goes up to like 720, but at the same time, people don't realize, they're like, 720 looks like trash. Not really. If you've ever seen 720 at 60 frames per second, which I'm not saying mine is, I never will, because I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure somebody didn't mod this. But 720p, 60 FPS actually looks pretty freaking good. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's some Switch games that do that, like for the undocked way of playing, and they look really good. Like Breath of the Wild. Here's the thing: I don't, as much as I'd say, Breath of the Wild's fine, I can't deny that it's a gorgeous looking game. I can't, because it is. But when you take it out of docked, it looks fantastic. I've had people say, "Well, when it's docked, it looks terrible, and when it's undocked, it looks great." When it's undocked, it looks great, and it looks great when it's docked too. It's kind of a two-way street on that. Because it's like Skyrim. Skyrim on Switch looks good, even though everybody wants to complain, "Oh, well, it can't run at this." I don't care. As long as I can play Skyrim on the run, I don't care. As long as it's not like, stuttering every 5 seconds. And see, that's what's funny, because you got people who be like, "Well, this system's better. This system's better. PC's better." I'm going to say right now, PC is the best. Like, legit. But if I'm going to pick a system, an actual console, I'm going with Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's just always had the best stuff. And it makes me think of back in the day when they were like, "Oh, you're a baby if you're still playing with..." Or, you're a little kid if you're still playing, Nintendo stuff. PlayStation's where it's at. Or, Sega had that thing. Sega does what Nintendo don't. And I'm going to be like, guys, you guys were trashing your competition and you ended up losing. Like, that's got to suck. But yeah, to me, Nintendo's always had quality stuff. I know that there's the occasional hiccup. Like, people will say that the Wii U is a failure, and it is. But to me, the Wii U is like one of the best consoles Nintendo's ever released. Like, if it had actually been advertised correctly, if it had actually had people going through showing what it does, what it's capable of. Because, like, I know people are like, "Well, that's advertising." No, when I mean advertising, I mean like commercials that basically throw it in your face. Hey, this is what it is. Do you want it or not? But like, they should have done more Nintendo Directs explaining what goes on within the system, because I'm gonna be honest, it's really good. The only reason I haven't homebrewed it is because it cost me a lot when I bought it back in 2016, and I'm not running that. The Wii, that's fine. I mean, it actually can take it. The Wii U, I don't know. I don't want to risk that. But yeah, like, and here's the thing. People don't realize this. The Wii U, like I mentioned earlier, I have, 2 Game Boy Advance games that I'm playing on there, Mario World and Yoshi's Island. They also have DS games for sale on there. Like, what? How did that not get advertised? Like, it's just a weird thing. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of tempted to get the Mario and Luigi games that are on there, because they're still on there for the time being, because apparently Nintendo's considering shutting down the eShop in other countries, which means that would be coming our way soon, and yeah, I don't want that at all. But you know what? I think I'm going to end it here on this. I want to thank you all for watching. If you've been watching, if you've been keeping up with our stuff during this really weird time. I can't say scary because I don't ever leave home anyway, so, all I see is what I see on TV, and some people kind of blow things out of proportion, but it's what it is. Can't do anything about it until something actually can be done about it. But I recommend watching Brad's videos, like what he's recently done, and watching our old stuff. Watching our reviews of past shows like Fooly Cooly, which is in the lead, wink, as far as shows go. And then the Long Long Man Japanese commercial video, which I believe is over 2,000 now. It may not be. I don't remember. But yeah, I also recommend following Nick on Twitch. Nick has his own Twitch. I have mine, but I don't have any, I don't have any equipment to actually do anything right now. Brad won't do it because Brad thinks that it's dumb, but Brad thinks a lot of things are dumb, so whatever. And yeah, you know, thank you guys who've been watching our videos. Thank you for kind of encouraging a little more productivity from us. Now, if you're going to ask if Nick's going to do a video, I don't know. I asked him, and he's just like, probably. So, there you go. There's your answer to that. So, next time, I don't know. I'll surprise you. I'll see you guys next time.